was up 18. What happened after that?
They went on a heck of a run. I think they did a great job of, forcing tough shots. Those tough shots and long shots led to runouts. We got stagnant a little bit. We found something that worked. And, then we missed a couple shots, and they were able to get out and run. Donovan got downhill quite a bit, similar to last game, but this time we weren't doing it without fouling, putting him, them getting 36 free throws, probably 30 for the game after, the late fouls. But 30 free throws is not something that that's not our calling card.
Do you attribute the stagnant nature of the offense from that point forward?
Well, I think we had it going. The ball was moving, the ball was popping, but again, we start missing a couple shots, and those shots lead to long rebounds, which were able to lead to runouts, and that's what I think ended up happening. But before anything, and I know I answered that one, but I'm so proud of our group. I'm so proud of these young men and the way in which they played, that they've battled all year. No matter what the circumstances are or were, these guys have continued to stay together. They've continued to fight. They continue to pull for each other. And I know it sucks right now. It really does. But you still can't say I can't say, and we can't say how proud of this group I am and our staff is.
I know neither of you want this in a losing performance, but you speak on Paolo's efforts.
Special. There's a reason why he's an all-star. There's a reason why he'll be all-NBA. Big moments, he never shies away from them. Never back down. Wanted every ounce of whatever they were throwing at him. And again, he did a great job attacking the rim, did a great job trying to find guys, did a great job rebounding the basketball. All the things that we've asked him to do in these big moments, he did.
Him being just 21, his first playoff series, did he surprise you maybe a little bit just how close he was throughout the series?
I'm going to say it over and over and over and over and over again. There's a reason why this young man is an all-star and will be all-NBA. Because he's going to show up in big games. He's going to play to try to win, find a way to win games. Not afraid of those moments. And it's not, obviously not the outcome we wanted, but to see this young man embrace the stage and embrace the spotlight in this moment is something that you can look forward to in the future.
I'm sure Franz is disappointed with his performance. Did you say anything to him or what?
Listen, this man battled. Franz Wagner battled, and he was doing everything possible to get what he needed. And mind you, those 3 fouls early, not going to get a fine. So at the end of the day, being able to be taken out of your rhythm, and you attack the basket the exact same way P and Donovan Mitchell were, and not to get those same calls, you just have to look at that a little bit. But again, this young man is as competitive as anyone I've been around. He wants it more, and he's a tough kid, and he's going to bounce back, and there's a reason he will be an all-star coming up too.
Jamahl, you kind of mentioned it earlier, but what do you say to the team after a loss like this when the emotions are so high to try to keep things in perspective?
You tell the truth. We've told each other the truth all year long. I walked in the locker room, I said, it sucks. It does. It does not to get the game, knowing what you were capable of doing, to be up 18, to feel you were in a space of, a chance to close out and to not get it done. Doesn't feel good. And then in the same breath, you have to put it all into perspective. Sometimes these painful things are blessings in disguise. So now guys continue to understand how you have to work throughout the summer. The attention to detail, the focus and the game plan, all of those things matter. And you have to experience it and feel it real time, because like we've done all year, we reflect back on what is going to help us become better.
Coach, when the dust settles, and I know it stings right now, what is a series like this, an experience like this for this young squad? What does this do for their future?
You will always remember a Game 7. Last night watching Chuck, Ernie, Kenny, and Dirk talk about their Game 7s. They all mentioned exactly how many they remembered, how many they won, how many they lost. You will always remember a Game 7. And I think these young men will always remember this game and how hard it was, what they needed to do, what we could have done different. And so that you take into the summer, and you take it throughout the upcoming year of what you need to do and how hard you need to work to get yourself over the top.
You talked all throughout the series and even before today, you just need to be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
In these kind of games. What part, obviously you didn't guys showed who you are in this Game 7, or played as you guys are?
Well, that first quarter was special. I mean, we've talked about, and we've said it over the year, like our starts. How do we start the game off better? And I think we couldn't have done a better job defensively in that first quarter of coming out the right way, playing the right way, trusting the pass, defending at a high level, getting out and running, all the things that we talked about, defending without fouling, finishing possessions out, those little things. And then as the game went on, they started to attack early on. We missed a couple shots. They were able to get out and run. Again, getting them to the free throw line. Can we do a better job of defending without fouling?
Coach, when the sting of this is over, the disappointment in a few days, what will be your outlook on this season in the future?
And I said it to them in there. I try to keep the same perspective. We try to keep the same perspective as the year goes on, because we know what we were capable of. That's the sting, and that's where it hurts. We know how good we have been and what we were capable of doing. But the perspective is still the same with a group of young men that have continued to grow and get better and learn through these experiences and remember how close they are and how tied together they are. That's the part of it that you really remember. The journey that we've been on. Guys remembering Game 7, having to win 3 or 4 games in order to get into the playoffs, to avoid the play-in. You remember those pieces, the 9-game winning streak. All those things were parts of this season, but it was also part of the season that these guys have bonded and grown together and continue to pull for one another. And the reality of it is it's not fun to lose these games in this situation.
Jamahl, when things started to snowball and they started to get the Cavs started to get rolling, is there any element where you felt like your team started to lose a little bit of its composure for the first time all series?
No. I don't think there was a loss of composure. I think there was an opportunity where we missed a lot of easy looks. We call a timeout. We come out, get a look that we want. It misses. They get off on the break, and they run and get an easy layup. So it takes it out of you a little bit. But the one thing about this team, they did not lose their composure. There was no whining. There was no moaning. There was no yelling. They were focused on how do we get the next stop? How do we string a couple stops together to get out and get some early offense?
Obviously, Game 7 is still fresh here. But how do you make sure that everyone puts this game in proper perspective? It is the final game. It is just one game as part of a larger, mostly successful season.
You have to learn from it. We've talked about it throughout this year, like the ability to reflect. And I say it over and over again. This is not fun. It sucks to lose a Game 7, to be in the position to win the game and let go of it a little bit. But you have to keep it in perspective of a group of young men that have continued to learn and grow and get better and trust each other and find ways to fight and stay together in the midst of hard games, hard times, in the midst of runs. That is very rare for a young group to do, and they did it all year. So I could not be more proud of them. Am I happy about the outcome? Absolutely not. But I'm proud of this group for the way in which they continue to stay together and fight for one another.
Thank you, Coach Mosley.
Thank you, guys.